and welcome to another edition of CaribDirect Headline News with me, Delia Delore. The month of May saw some interesting news, so let's start with a quick bulletin. CaribDirect columnist Dixon Igwe asks, is social democracy the way forward for the Virgin Islands? As the struggle with COVID-19 continues, it's becoming clear that the old system of favouring the rich is not supporting the rest when they need it most. St. Lucia recorded nearly 11,000 citizens receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. Health experts warn that the country is still in a vulnerable position, but with more people vaccinated, hope is on the horizon.
We continue to advise the public to remain vigilant, adhere to the protocols that are put in place to keep us safe.
The La Soufrière volcano on St. Vincent has been moved from alert level red down to orange earlier this month. The volcano has already left a wake of destruction, and the UE seismic unit warns that if it remains in a state of unrest, new activity could happen with little to no warning.
People should not be complacent because nothing has happened. The threats are all still there, and the bigger the dome gets, the larger some of these threats become. So people still should be aware of what's going. They still should have their plans in place. They should still be ready to respond at very short notice.
Young Marcel is proud to show off his debut short film, RAGAMUFFINS, which he wrote and co-directed. The full film can be found on YouTube. And now for the news. The SEEDS, or Simon Education African Caribbean Development Scheme, primarily targeted towards African Caribbean teachers, has been launched. The scheme provides teacher training and resources for schools in Africa and the Caribbean. SEEDS also supports several educational initiatives in the UK's Black community. The programme aims to build a global network of schools, libraries, sponsors and teachers. If you would like to get involved with the scheme, visit CaribDirect.com for details. In London, children go missing all the time, but the proportion of Black children going missing is much greater, with less effort being placed by the authorities to find them. Here are a few of the children. Renee Good Garrett, 14, from Bexley, who did not go back to school after the Easter break and walked out of her house on the 14th of April. Kennedy Senga, 15, went missing from Custom House in Newham, London. The teenager has not been seen since January 22nd. His family describe him as very vulnerable and that they are all very overwhelmed by his disappearance. Corey James, age 16, missing from Barnet in London since April the 1st. Rashawn Williams is also 16 and went missing from Southwark, London on the 25th of April. Campaigners say the government must do more to address their concerns and that relatives of missing children must stop being treated as merely a nuisance. Keep your eyes open and let's find and bring home our children. The High Court of the United Kingdom has ruled that the family of Linda Meherba can apply to live in Britain without paying thousands of pounds in fees. Meherba had originally moved to the UK in the 1970s but was not allowed to return until 2018 due to mistakes on her original immigration status. Since returning, Meherba has been separated from her family because they could not afford the nearly £23,000 required to apply for permission to live in the UK. The court has ruled that charging the family of Meherba would be a colossal interference of her human right to family life. Earlier this year, we reported on the devastating effect some of the injustice has caused in the cases of the Windrush generation. Justice in this case, though hard won, is a ray of hope for others in similar positions. After a long legal battle, Linda is looking forward to being reunited with her family.
You know, not just because people treat you badly means that, you give up. You don't give up. There's things that are worth fighting for.
Amanda Alexander's article on CaribDirect.com caught my eye this month with her definition of a midlife crisis. We know the term as a well-known period in our lives when we realize that our time is finite and we reminisce about our accomplishments and the things that we kept saying that we'd do, but of course we didn't. We suddenly start to question our conscience, our relationships, and sometimes even our own identity. This often results in unusual behavior that is motivated by the urge to relive our youth or make up for things that we've missed. According to Alexander, such natural growth shouldn't even be called a crisis, and I agree with her. Re-evaluating friendships and making ourselves happy eliminates stress, which leads to health failures at a time when we need quality of life more than ever. But this transition period can be overwhelming too. We could reach our limits while dealing with strong emotions, relationship problems, or even workplace tensions. And as this article warns, we should all be aware of the symptoms of an actual crisis and recognize the inner struggle that requires external help. Otherwise, our mental health could suffer. If you or anybody you know needs help, visit mentalhealth-uk.org. Also, you're not alone. Try to talk to someone you can trust. Do you think a midlife crisis is really a crisis? Leave your answers in the comments section below. Leicester City won 1-0 in the FA Cup against Chelsea. The game was held on the 15th of May. Leicester City secured the trophy for the first time in their 137th year of the history of the team. As you can imagine, celebrations were incredible. There was even a rare sighting of the chairman on the pitch amongst the celebrations. If you're going to use this phrase, you have to pronounce it properly, and you must say it fast. That's where the trick lies. You have to say it almost like it's one complete word. The expression is often used to the response of wagwan, and it means everything is okay, and there are many variations. So in case you're wondering, me there, you may be laughing about how I'm saying it, but I'm not that bad really. Thank you, Funny Francis, for providing the proof.
Obviously, we're in commentary right now. Basically, the challenge is I'm giving people 3 simple sentences. If they can speak those sentences in their best Jamaican accent, then I'll give them £5. But if they flop, the money goes back with me, yeah? I went to the shop and bought 2 loaves of bread and 1 milk.
Me got to shop, buy 2 loaves of bread, 1 milk.
I went to the shop and I bought 2 loaves of bread and 1 mint.
I went to the shop and brought 2 loaves of bread and 1 milk, you understand?
You know, me went to the shop, yeah.
I went to the shop and I bought 2 loaves of bread and milk.
What you say?
I went to the shop and I bought 2 loaves of bread and milk.
Me go and shop and buy 2 loaves of bread and what else you want me to say?
And 1 milk.
And 1 milk.
Perfect. Yes, I that's good. That's good.
Me went to the shop and buy 2 loaves of bread and 1 milk. E.
What's the E?
Jamaicans do it.
I'm Dee Delore, and this has been CaribDirect's Headline News. The team and I hope you have enjoyed our picks. Visit CaribDirect.com daily so you can keep up with Caribbean news. I'm looking forward to reading your responses on our midlife crisis. I've included my thoughts in the comments box. In the meantime, be fab and get the COVID jab. See you next month.